Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Top 5 Wednesday. The topic for this week is books that you want to reread. So nice easy topic this week. I have a lot of books that I want to reread. I also have a ton of books that I haven't read at all, but there are a lot of books that I really love that I really want to revisit at some point. So the first book that I want to reread is Hollow City by Ransom Riggs, and I'm actually going to be starting my reread of this today, so I'm really excited about that. This is the second book in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series, and I first read this book 2 years ago when it first came out, but I haven't read the third book in this series, so I want to reread this one before I read that one. So I really want to see how much I actually remember and whether I enjoy it as much as I did the first time around. Because it's a sequel, I'm not going to talk too much about it, and I think you all know a lot about Miss Peregrine now since the film has come out anyway, but I really recommend this series to anyone who likes both middle grade and YA fantasy adventure with a little bit of paranormal thrown in there as well. It's a really cute, quirky little series for that. Another book that I really want to reread is Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. Now this is the first book in my second favourite series of all time, but I haven't read this in literally years. I've only read each of the books in this series once through each, so when the last book in this series comes out next year, I will be giving this whole series a reread and hoping that I enjoy it for its fun, epic self as it is as a whole. This book does actually get a lot of hate compared to the other books in this series as well. I think this is generally regarded to be the worst one, but I obviously enjoyed it enough to pick up the rest of the books in this series, so I'm excited to see whether on my reread of this book that I see like how far the series has come and things like that. So yeah, really excited to see if I pick up anything new from this book on a second time around and if I have a slightly different opinion of it at all. Another book that I really want to reread, and I was hoping to reread this book this year, but I don't know if I'm going to get to now, unfortunately, and that is Looking for Alaska by John Green. And when I first read this, I just thought it was okay, but everyone seems to really love this book. Like, if it's not their favourite John Green book, it's certainly their second favourite. So I really want to give it a reread because I didn't hate it, but I just didn't really see all of the kind of love that people have for it. And I have seen a lot of really beautiful quotes from this book posted on Tumblr and things like that, so I really want to give it another chance. Too many people deeply love this book for me not to give it another chance, so I'm excited to see if my opinion changes of it at all on a second time around. Another book that I really want to reread that I haven't reread in such a long time is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. So this is my favourite classic, and I've read it maybe 3 or 4 times in my life, so I do feel like it is due a reread. I really love it. I don't know if I'm going to get to be rereading it this year, but hopefully early next year. I do feel it is more of a wintry type book, so I want to read it while it is still cold outside. But yes, I will try my absolute hardest to squeeze it in because it is just the kind of cosy book that I love reading in colder months, and I haven't done it in such a long time, so yeah. And the last book that I want to reread was actually a book that I read for the first time very recently, but I really want to reread it as soon as possible, and that is Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. I know this is a really newly released book, but I loved it so much, and I really want to get back to it. I don't know if I'm going to be reading it anytime soon, maybe next year. I think this might be a book that I read like on a yearly basis because I do love it that much, and I really urge anyone, literally anyone and everyone, to read this book. Even if you don't normally read YA, it's actually a really important and uplifting and inspirational book that I think everybody should read. So yeah, please pick up this book if you haven't already, because I promise you, you will not regret it. It's gorgeous in so many ways, and I can't wait to get back to it. So yeah, and that is it for this week's Top 5 Wednesday. What books do you want to reread? Please let me know. I would love to know. I will leave all my social media in the description down below. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.